Hi, I'm Jen Lucas, author of the Sock Yarn Shawls books. Today I'm here to show you how to do the circular cast on, which I used in my most recent book, Sock Yarn Shawls 2. This cast on was used in the Daylily shawl, which is a circular shawl that is knit from the center outward. This cast on is great for any circular shawl that you might like to make. So let's get started. To do the circular cast on, we're going to start with our working yarn and one needle. For my Daylily pattern, I indicate that you'll be starting with double pointed needles. So you're either going to want to start with one double point, or if you're comfortable using magic loop, you can also start with your one long circular, whatever works for you. So to start, we have our working yarn, and we need to make basically a loose knot. So to do that, we're just going to cross the yarn over and pull the tail through. And we're going to want to leave it nice and loose and also leave a nice long tail so we can weave it in later, and also we're going to pull on this to pull everything tight at the end. That's what's so great about the circular cast on, is once you're done you can just pull this tail closed and it closes up the hole. You don't have to sew anything together at the end, which is great. So to start now, I'm going to put the working yarn into my left hand and take my working needle in my right. And basically we cast on stitches by going into the hole and above the hole. So to start, I like to pinch where my yarn crossed over, and I'm going to go into the hole, and we need to yarn over and pull a loop through. And so we have one stitch cast on. And now we're going to go above the loop and yarn over, which basically is just setting the yarn onto your needle. So there we have two stitches. So to continue casting on stitches, we're just going to go into the loop and above the loop and into the loop and above the loop. So again, we're going to go into the loop, yarn over, and pull a loop through. There's 3 stitches. And then above the loop, yarn over, that makes 4. And I find as I go, if I keep pinching sort of that last stitch on the needle, it really helps hold everything in place. So at this point, we're going to keep working in that manner until we have all of the stitches cast on that we need. For the Daylily pattern, it indicates that you're going to need 9 stitches. So we already have 4. So we're going to go 5 and 6, 7 and 8, and then into the loop one last time to make 9. Patterns that use this cast on are going to typically have an odd number of stitches to cast on, and the reason for that is that you want that first stitch and that last stitch really anchored, and the way you achieve that is by going into the hole. So that's why you have an odd number of stitches. So at this point we have our 9 stitches cast on, and now if we just start to pull on our tail, you can see that hole closing up. At this point, I don't close it all the way tight because I'm still going to need to redistribute these stitches. We're going to be working in the round for this circular shawl, so you're either at this point going to need to transfer half your stitches to your other needle if you're using magic loop, or if you're starting with the DP you would need to get 2 more DP into the mix to distribute your stitches evenly, because we're going to take the working yarn is now over here, but our first round we're going to be working on this stitch since every stitch is a right side row. So this is a really great cast on. It would not just work for shawls, also if you're working a top-down hat or anything where you really were working in the round and wanted that hole to be nice and snug and creating a little less work for yourself at the end. So I hope you enjoyed this cast on, and I hope you enjoyed Daylily from Sock Yarn Shawls 2.